The setting for the Pelicans. When he's out on the floor, you always... Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. DA, it's all yours. And the game is going global. You're right. Thank you, DA. Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. And it's Favors in at the 5. And for the Raptors, Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. And Van Vliet out there with Lowry, and it's Anunoby in at the small forward spot. A whole new cast of characters for the Pelicans. 3 promising first-round picks, Greg, and the young players acquired from the Lakers and veterans like Favors and Redick.
All of a sudden, a wealth of options for Alvin Gentry. Time will tell how they did in the AD trade, but seems like they're off to a nice start.
And here is Van Vliet. Outside Lowry. Back to Van Vliet. Just 5 on the clock. That shot is off. Good D by Holiday. Ball dishes to Williamson. And the dunk by Williamson.
And you have to have an appreciation for Ball's passing skills. I mean, he just sees the floor beautifully, easily working the ball over to open teammates.
A shot by Lowry. Wide open. Good on the triple.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
The Pelicans have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Ball, the pass to Williamson. Ingram outside. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Holiday. They get it again. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Favors got his second basket of the game. We've got 1:18 left in the first quarter. And one of the best defensive big men in the league, Derek Favors.
You're right, Kevin, because he's got the body to play bully ball, but the lateral quickness to deal with smaller players. When this guy gets down in his stance, he can cover some ground defensively.
Shot clock at 5. Anunoby, no good. The Pelicans have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And good that time.
Just a terror in transition. Zion's understanding for how to exploit these situations is one of his greatest strengths.
Favors against Siakam. Here's Anunoby.
Factsverse presents.
Toronto needs to get off a shot. Shoots a fader. Ibaka, no luck. Pelicans leading by 5. Ingram kicks to Williamson. The dish to Holiday. Out to the wing. Here's Ball. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
And no doubt the release point is a bit unorthodox in terms of Ball's shooting technique. But, man, can he slingshot it home from deep.
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They have made it very tough to get a shot off. And Serge Ibaka talked about his skill set. Now a couple.
Bringing my defense toughness.
And really, Ibaka is a seasoned veteran now, a terrific role player known for his defense.
And Ibaka knows his role and plays it well.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
And a moment now to reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for New Orleans right now, Jackson is out there with J.J. Redick, and it's Hart in at the 3 spot.
And the EuroLeague's top scorer last season, Nicolo Melli, had turned down some NBA offers in the past, decides to make the leap to join the Pelicans, and gives them a highly skilled player in that front court.
And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. Okafor is checked in for Hayes. Raptors trail by 8. Outside, Davis. Pass to Powell. Outside, Gasol. Lets it go with a 3. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And he comes up with the deuce. Hart's got the lead up to 10 now for New Orleans.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Pass to Boucher. Now here's Powell. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's on Jahlil Okafor. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Marc doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
Well, as well-rounded as Marc Gasol is on the offensive end of the floor, can we remember that this was the Defensive Player of the Year back in 2003? What a tremendous all-around talent.
And so Marc Gasol nails both of them.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
And the wide-open shot from Redick buries it from 3-point range.
What confidence from the grizzled veteran. Redick is as automatic as it gets from downtown.
Here's Lowry. Holiday with the defensive effort. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for New Orleans. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. Williamson kicks to Holiday. Dishes to Okafor over Lowry, and it's Okafor. That time on the assist by Holiday.
And if you look at this first half, overall, they've just had the better shot selection.
And I think, obviously, we see the execution and the willingness to make the next pass so important.
Lowry's shot is good.
But it's almost a sure thing when Kyle Lowry decides to drive hard to the cup. What a tremendous finisher on the move.
Now here is Holiday. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Outside, Redick shoots over Powell. Misses the jumper.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
And so it's New Orleans. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're feeling very
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Things were going New Orleans' way from the beginning. Competing with a chip on their shoulders, they started things off with an 11-3 run. After one, they held an 8-point advantage. And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is...
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Morris the game is shifting towards skill and finesse, but there are those players who thrive in this league who are like bulldozers and force the issue inside.
Well, a guy like Blake Griffin, who is such a physically gifted basketball player, enters the league as one of the great dunkers, but has now added a three-point shot, still can play bully ball. But for me, the most ferocious at-the-rim scorer and the guy who's probably most underrated aspect as a strength is the Greek freak. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the rim. Good luck and good night.
I don't know how you do it, right? I mean, how do you defend it?
Impossible.
Indeed. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Ari out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Ibaka in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half. Outside Lowry. Shot clock at 6. And the shot goes in. Lowry's got 9.
Kevin, put the ball in Kyle Lowry's hand in a pick and roll, and he will pull all the right strings.
Ball finds Ingram. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. The kick out to Holiday. And the pass to Ball. Jacks up a 3. Pelicans keep it alive. Another shot. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Ibaka. Some changes for Toronto. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for OG Anunoby. Davis is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. And then for New Orleans, Hayes is checked in for Williamson. Josh Hart comes in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Jackson in for Drew Holiday. Jackson looking around. Clock at 6. Here's Favors, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, don't you love how Derek Favors goes right into the contact? This guy's not afraid to be whacked because he's so strong.
Pelicans shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. No good on that one.
Now, Derek Favors undoubtedly has turned himself into a dependable power forward, someone capable of averaging a double-double in the NBA.
The Raptors making a switch here. Boucher is checked in.
Well, think about it, guys. For years, the Raptors had been unable to translate all of that regular season success to dominance in the playoffs. But last season, they changed that narrative. Now it's, excuse me, we are the defending champion Toronto Raptors.
VanVleet can't get it to go.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Boy, doesn't get any easier than that. What a size advantage, and just goes to work.
It's rebounded by New Orleans. Favors got 5 rebounds tonight. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Jackson passes to Hayes. Outside Favors. Ball feeling it out a bit. No good on the triple. Raptors trail by 10. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now here's VanVleet, guarded by Jackson. Shoots the 3. No good on that one. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Their backcourt, Ball and Redick. Then there's Jahlil Okafor, and it's Hart in at the 3, the small forward. Ball against Lowry, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Yeah, and Ball jumps all over the defense, especially when they give him a lane to the basket. Outstanding at forcing the issue.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people who were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment.
Wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible.
And Siakam throws it down.
Excellent anticipation of a teammate's defensive ability. Siakam gets out in transition. Nice.
Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. Ball with a wide open look. Trains it from beyond the arc. And the Pelicans lead by 12.
Yeah, you have to make greater effort than that defensively. You know what he can do from range.
Well, to me, Greg, that's just inexcusable. You start to wonder how much they really want this basketball game.
And here's Ball. He'll bring it up for the Pelicans. Pass to Williamson. 1:32 left in the fourth. Foul against Redick. From downtown, Marcus Gasol picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And Toronto making a change here. Van Vliet's checked in. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for New Orleans. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. Inside, and the dunk by Williamson.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
And as a result, they may be facing just a little bit less resistance right now. They are having their way.
Siakam outside. 11 feet away. That one a little long. Ball with it. Ingram outside. Back to Ball. Holiday surveying the floor. And stolen by Siakam. Lowry for 3. Trains the three-pointer.
Well, this is a quality decision maker in Kyle Lowry. Catch and shoot, no problem.
Ball dishes to Ingram. 17 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Williamson. It's rebounded by Gasol. Now Lowry. From deep three-point range, no good.
And I love how Ball will stay in your face defensively, not willing to give ground. And I like the fact that he competes on that end.
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific